Okay, so this video is to help you with your yellow worksheet that says literal equations on it. And so what a literal equation is just an equation that has all variables in it. So if you pull out your worksheet, we're going to start with number 1. So number 1 says that I have dg, or d times g, equals h. And it says that I want to solve for g. So I'm going to circle the thing that I want to solve for, and that's the thing I'm going to leave all by itself. So anything that I didn't circle, like the d, I need to move. So the d and the g are multiplying, and to unmultiply I need to divide. So I'm going to divide by d, divide by d. That makes these d's cancel out. I'm now left with my g, and it's going to equal h over d. So let's try number 2. Number 2 says that I have k equals p over t, and the problem says that I want to solve for t. So I need to get t out of the denominator. T is dividing right now, so I'm going to multiply both sides by t. If I do it to one side, I need to do it to the other side. These t's are going to cancel out. On this side, I'm going to have k times my t equals p. I'm still trying to get this t by himself, so k is multiplying with t, so I need to divide by k, divide by k. These k's are going to cancel out, and my answer is going to say t equals p over k, and that's my final answer. Okay, let's try number 3. Number 3 says that I have r equals s minus x. I want to solve for x. We're going to be very careful this time because this x has this negative sign right here. We're going to be careful with it. So I'm going to subtract my s and subtract my s because right now my s is positive. And so when I do that, these s's will cancel out. This is going to say r minus s equals a negative x. Now be careful. This negative x is like a negative 1. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1 and divide everything over here by a negative 1. These negative 1s will cancel out. Both the r and the s have to be divided by a negative 1. So r divided by a negative 1 is going to make a negative r. A negative s divided by a negative 1 is going to make a positive s. This is going to equal x. So when you divide by a negative 1, everything changes its sign. The r was positive, now it's negative. The s was minus, now it's plus. The x was negative, and now it's positive. Number 4 says q equals w times h. I'm going to circle my w because it says solve for w. The w and the h are multiplying. To unmultiply, we are going to divide. These h's cancel out. So now I have q over h equals w. I'm going to skip number 5 and leave that one for you to do. So let's try number 6. So on number 6, it says I want to solve for q. I'm going to do this problem twice. I'm going to do it the way I think you're going to tell me to do it, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of a shortcut. So the h, the k, and the q are all multiplying. So you could tell me that I'm going to divide by k, divide by k. So you get d over k equals hq. And then you have to divide again. Divide by h, divide by this h, and I know how much you love fractions. Fractions are your best friends. So this thing right here that I'm circling in yellow, I'm sure it makes you extra happy right now. So this really says d over k times 1 over h. These h's cancel off, and I'm left with q. And so if I just cleaned it up, it'd say q equals d over kh. And so that's going to take me back to the top again. I'm going to redo this problem, and I'm going to do it a little bit simpler. So let's look at this one more time. I'll do it in blue so you can see it's different. So this time, again, d equals h, k, q. I want to solve for my q still. Instead of dividing separately, I'm multiplying by h and k. So I can, in one step, divide by hk. And if you do it to one side, then you have to do it to the other side. H's cancel, k's cancel. So you have d over h, k equals my q. Same answer, just a little bit easier to do it that way. So now let's try number 7. Number 7 says P equals W over AB. We want to solve for A. A's in the denominator right now. So to move the A out of the denominator and undivide, I need to multiply both sides by AB. If I do it to one side, I got to do it to the other. So AB. These AB's are going to cancel off, and over here I'm going to have A, oh, hang on, I want to write this in black. I'm going to have A, B, P equals my W. I'm still trying to get my A by himself, though. So right now, A is multiplying with P and B. So I'm going to multiply by, or sorry, I'm going to unmultiply and divide by BP. Unmultiply, aka divide by BP. These cancel out. You are left with A equals W over B, oops, sorry, not Q, over BP. And this is your final answer. Okay, number 8's a little bit different. So let's try number 8. Number 8 says that I have 2x plus y equals 5. I want to solve for my y. Be careful, think. We are adding here. So to unadd, we subtract. If you do it on one side, to do it on the other. So my 2x's cancel off. I'm left with y equals, you have to read it, 5 minus 2x. That's it. That's all you had to do. I'm going to skip number 9. Let's try number 10. Number 10 says that z equals b over cd. I need to solve for b. So b right now is being divided by c and d. So to undo that, I'm going to multiply by c and d. If I do it on one side, I got to do it on the other side. These CDs on the right side of the screen cancel off. And on the left side, I have C times D times Z equals B. And that is my final answer. I'm going to skip 11 and 12. Let's go to the back side. Let's try number 14. Number 14 says that C equals 2 pi r. And it says that I want to solve for my r. R is multiplying with 2 and pi. So to unmultiply, I need to divide. Divide by 2 pi. divide by 2 pi. 2's cancel out, pi's cancel out. So c over 2 pi equals r. That's the final answer. Okay, number 16. I've skipped 15. I'm going to 16. 16 says A equals 1/2 BH. I want to solve for B. So to do that, I can divide by my half and my h, divide by my half and my h. Halves cancel out, h's cancel out. So on this side, I have A over 1/2 h equals B. But we're going to clean this up. We're not going to leave it like this, because right now, we don't leave a fraction inside a fraction right there. So what I really have is A over h, and I'm also dividing by a half. And this equals B. And when you were in elementary school, you learned a thing called keep, change, or keep, flip, keep, change, flip, keep, change, flip. I learned it as this following song. Dividing by fractions is easy as pie, flip the second and multiply. So in my song, you keep the first one, and you multiply, and you flip this one. And so for you guys, you learned it as keep, change, flip. And so when you do this, you're going to get 2 times A, which is 2A. H times 1 is H, and this equals B. This was definitely a trickier problem. Okay, and the last problem we're going to do together, number 17. So number 17 says x equals B over C, B times C over P times Q. I want to solve for P. So since the thing I want is in the bottom, I'm going to multiply by both sides to get that P out of the denominator. If I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. This PQ cancels off. On the left side, you're going to have P times Q times now an X equals BC. Still trying to solve for my P over here. Now I'm going to divide by my Q and my X because I want to move everything away from my P. These Q's cancel out. These X's cancel out. So my final answer is P equals BC over QX. So you need to make sure your name's on your paper and you have the remainder of class to get any other 5 problems done. You must turn this paper back into the sub before you leave today. Thank you.